One thing that hasn't changed about Maayanot is the warmth and the caring that exists within these walls.
I think what Maayanot teaches you is just like an openness of like being accepting to all different types of people.
I love all my teachers and I really actually look forward to the time that I spend in the classroom.
Every single day and every single week and every single month is going to have some activity that they didn't plan on having, and if you want to get teenagers excited, that's a good way to do it.
Torah is a Eitz Chaim, it's a tree of life, and Maayanot has certainly been able to instill that in a way that is very inspiring for us, and I think one of our goals in sending them to Maayanot.
I mean, certainly in seminary, but also in Stern. They always say this and you think like, okay, that's not true, but it's true. Maayanot girls are always the most prepared.
I would say a lot of their career trajectory is the result of, mentorship and getting excited by a text.
Our teachers are really willing to treat us as peers and really have dialogue with us, and also they really challenge us and motivate us, and it just makes learning really fun and really special.
They barely deserve to be saved.
The pasuk that we chose for Mrs. Cohen's paper cut is a pasuk from Tehillim. It says, Ner l'ragli devarecha ve'or l'netivati, that your word, Hashem, is a candle for my feet and a light for my path. And the reason that we chose that pasuk for Mrs. Cohen is that I think it conveys the sense in which she is just a true Torah role model.
Maayanot is my life. I love coming to work at Maayanot. I love interacting with my students. I love sharing Torah with them and learning Torah from them.
Such a big part of being a teacher isn't just the material that you teach, it's really being able to reach out to your students and to cater to all different types of students.
She really puts her whole heart and soul into this, into doing the best work that she possibly can for her students.
She will spend as much time as she can to meet with students individually, to talk through their dreams with them, whether it's learning Torah together or guiding them through the Israel process or just discussing what's on their mind. And I think that combination of her own conveying of how much fulfillment she finds in her learning and her work, and also her dedication to individual students, really equips students to pursue their dreams.
I truly think that my mom teaches every student like she was their mother. Like she really puts everything out for them.
She really gives of herself to her students, and it's something that really gives her a great deal of satisfaction.
My mom is really devoted to her craft.
I want them to be able to become self-sufficient young women who can take a text in Chumash and learn it on their own, and who don't need to come back to me and ask for my help.
She really enjoys what she's teaching, and she has such a love, and she gets so excited about all the different mefarshim, and she has favorites, and I don't know, I think that excitement is definitely conveyed in her teaching, and we kind of get that.
I often reflect on the fact that I'm truly very lucky, because I don't know that there are that many people who go to work each day excited to be in the place that they are and feeling so supported and so happy about what they can do each day.
We love you, Mom!
Understanding and knowing that we have the confidence at Maayanot, they're really davening for Israel, they're speaking about advocacy for Israel, and again, it's not just something which is adjunct to their life, but existential to who they are, and that's something also that we look to Maayanot for, and we've seen our girls also make Israel much more part of their life, which is one of our values, by being in the school.
Imbued in us a strong sense of commitment to Torah, to Judaism, love of Torah, of chesed, and of always doing the right thing.
So whenever we have guests over at our house, they really make every individual feel welcome, and I think that's a huge draw for making really people feel comfortable in our home and in the community.
The pasuk that we chose for the paper cut for Rabbi and Mrs. Cohen is a pasuk from Tehillim that says, Ma nimlitzu l'chiki imratecha midvash lefi. That says that Hashem's words, that the Torah is sweeter to the mouth than honey. And the reason that we chose that for the Cohens is that the Cohens are strong communal leaders, and they convey just a joy in Torah, a happiness, a feeling of shlimut, that the Torah is sweet to them.
Their goal was not to give us information and have us say, this is the information that you must believe in, but really to just make us thinking people. And I think I gained that both from my education at Maayanot and also from my parents, the way they raised me.
I am the proud father of 4 daughters, and I can tell you that it is a privilege very often. Sometimes it's a challenge. I could only imagine how challenging it might be if you would increase that by 33%. So I would like to wish the Cohens Mazel Tov on this great award and wish them great Hatzlacha and much luck in their quest to manage 6 lovely young daughters.
I think it shows so much about Maayanot as a school and my parents' commitment to the school. The fact, just our commute in general.
The Cohens are, I think, the only students at Maayanot who travel through 3 states to get to school every day. Whenever I mention to people that we have students who commute from Stamford, Connecticut, they are always incredibly impressed. And it really speaks to the Cohens' dedication to Maayanot and their focus on what they want for their daughters educationally, even when it entails a real sacrifice every day on the part of both Rabbi and Mrs. Cohen and also their daughters.
Mazel tov, Mommy and Abba. We love you. We love you.
Mazel tov. Guys, one more time. Don't count. Just go. Mazel tov, Mommy and Abba.
One of the stories that stands out in my mind about Mrs. Linzer is that at Meirav's graduation a couple of years ago, she came over to me at the end of graduation and showed me that she had taken notes on the Divrei Torah at graduation, which I don't think I've ever seen before or since. And I think it really speaks to the fact that she and her husband and their family are just constant learners.
They have been at the forefront of encouraging people to come to Maayanot, of explaining to people what is so important about Maayanot being, about why their daughters are excelling at Maayanot.
My parents and my entire family in general has kind of developed, I would say, like a love, but even greater than that, maybe an obsession with Maayanot.
Being a leader is not necessarily being the loudest, most sociable and out there person.
And they're not looking for any fanfare or accolades. They're just always willing to roll up their sleeves and help the institution any way they can.
Every person in the Jewish community has something to offer. And the important thing is to realize what you have to offer and to use it to help the community.
The pasuk that we chose for the paper cut for Mr. and Mrs. Linzer is a pasuk from Tehillim that says, Pla'ot edotecha al kein nitzaratam nafshi, that your testimonies, Hashem, are wonders, and that's why my soul guards them. And I think it really speaks to what I associate most with the Linzers, that they have an intent commitment to Talmud Torah that is personal, that's really in their souls.
We always end every meal with a concordance on the table or something, because my parents really just instill within us this value of learning Torah and looking things up and asking questions.
When I study with my mom, for Chumash, she always thinks about Rashis that aren't on the test. I'm why do I have to know that? And she says that there's no point in just studying for the test. You also have to know it just to learn.
Lori brings a unique perspective to everything that we do inside the executive board, because she is immersed in education and she brings her experiences in that field to Maayanot.
I think education is the most important thing to them. When they picked Maayanot, that was what was important to them, and they're proud of us seeing how much we learn in Maayanot.
Mazel tov, Mommy and Daddy, we love you.
One of the things that I learned the most from Bruce was the importance of Jewish leadership, the importance of giving of your time to further promote Jewish causes.
There was a very special place in Bruce's heart for Maayanot. He really put a lot of effort in, which was a labor of love.
He would say to me, Howie, I'm telling you, there's no doubt that this is the best school for girls' Jewish education, not only in the entire New York area, but in the entire United States.
No, he loved Maayanot. He loved what it stood for. He loved the education that I got, and just the love of Torah that I got from the school, definitely.
Bruce was someone that everyone loved. He had such a sparkling, energetic, wonderful personality. He drew everyone in, and you always felt like you were the most important person in the room whenever he would talk to you.
My dad was just a person who everyone liked.
He really just had this love for so many people.
He was inspired by his parents, who were leaders of their community, founded their shul, were always involved in doing things to grow their community.
The pasuk that we chose in memory of Bruce Ritholtz is a pasuk from Tehillim that culminates with the phrase, Holech b'derech tamim hu yisharteni. Someone who walks in a way that is tamim, he serves Hashem. Tamim is a word that's hard to define in English. It's sort of a blend of integrity and straightforwardness and faith. And those were all qualities that Bruce really embodied.
My dad was an unbelievable beacon of Emunah during this whole process, even going through difficult treatments and having such difficult things happen to him. He was so positive. Almost any day that I'd be home and I'd come down, I'd almost always see him davening, putting on tefillin.
When he felt strongly about something, he gave it 100%.
He felt like you had to give back and you had to really be part of the community.
I was assuming that I would want to go into medicine and that I'd want to be a doctor. And then when my dad got sick and I was able to see what the nurses did really stood out to me. I just really fell in love with what they did, and my dad just appreciated his nurses, and I kind of wanted to give back. When a nurse would come in, he'd be like, my daughter's going to be a nurse. He was so proud that I was going to become a nurse.
It's very meaningful for us at Maayanot to be able to name our Mishmar program, which has recently expanded and come to involve many more students every week, in memory of Bruce, Zichrono Livracha.
My family chose to name the Thursday Night Mishmar program in memory of my father, mainly because of his love of learning, whether it was with his family, his friends, or his rebbeim. It was obvious to everyone that Torah played a prominent role in his day-to-day life.
He'd always encourage us to say Divrei Torah at the Shabbos table, and he'd always bring up something if he thought something was interesting that he learned in the daf.
If we went away for vacation, he brought his Gemara with him and he would learn.
He participated in the Siyum Hashas, which was very special to him, and certainly it was something that our children were very proud of that he did, and as was I.
3 of his closest friends came all together and said, we're going to learn Shas for you, for Rosh Lema. And he was a little upset about that because he thought, he's never heard of that. He doesn't think people are going to learn, whatever. And the website was posted, and with less than 48 hours, it was completely full. And it was so full that they actually opened up a new Shas, and we basically did 1.5 because so many people. And that kind of speaks to his character of who he was and how he affected people and how just people wanted to help.
I saw Hashem in all of you, in the people that came to make up the minyan, in the people that learned the Gemara, in the people that baked the challah, in the people that made us meals for Shabbos, in the people that sat with me for hours in my library, in the people that went for walks with me in the neighborhood. I could go on and on and on, and you might not realize it. And in fact, I'm sure you don't. But you acted godly. You acted like God.
Tonight's honorees are all people who convey a real passion for Limud HaTorah and for living lives of Torah. And that passion and that commitment and that sense of joy in Torah is a legacy that they give to their children, and we're very proud to have them as part of the Maayanot community.